Thank you, Prime Minister. You've just announced the abolition of NHS England. There's about 13,000 job cuts there. You've also talked about an ever-expanding state, signalling, I think, thousands of other job cuts across the state. You're about to announce billions of cuts to welfare, so billions in welfare savings. At your manifesto launch, you said to me, and this is a direct quote, there will be no austerity under a Starmer government. If this isn't austerity, what is? And do you at least accept that some people will feel that this is austerity again? And if I may be cheeky and ask you a second question.
I knew you'd do this, Beth. I see Beth and these journalists a lot, and they always do this to me. I say, you've got one question, what's your question? And then it usually starts with Beth, and everybody does it afterwards. There's always a second.
So Beth, really let's
keep up that tradition.
So I'm going to be a bit cheeky. Look, it's about trade, because at the White House, when you were there with President Trump, he said the UK might be able to avoid tariffs. He seems to have gone back on that. We are being slapped with tariffs. Do you hope to achieve a deal in the next few weeks that will get those tariffs removed? Or is this a president where you can't trust a word he says? Because he said one thing to you and now he's doing something else.
Let me take both those questions. Beth, there's no return to austerity. I said that to you before the election, and we're not going to austerity. I ran a public service, the prosecution service, during years of austerity, and I saw what was done in that particular case to our criminal justice system, but it's been done to our public services. And part of the problem we've got with our public services is what was done to them a decade or so ago. So we're not going down that route, and none of our plans are going down that route. When it comes to welfare, there are important principles. We must support those that need support, but equally we must help those who want to get back into work. And at the moment, the system doesn't do that. One of the statistics that I used a moment ago was 1 in 8 young people who are not in work, employment or training. They're just stuck in a world of benefits and support. That is really shocking. I'm not saying nobody needs support, but 1 in 8 young people, they should be here. They should be beginning they should be in the lab, they should be beginning their careers, their life, whatever they're going to do, and 1 in 8, let me just conceptualise that. That's 1 in 8 young people. That's not defensible. So it's got to change. We've got to reform it. And I'm afraid a welfare system that doesn't help people to get into work because it's set up in such a way that even if you take the risk of coming off benefit and into work, and it doesn't work for you, you end up worse off than when you started, so people don't make that journey. So just as we want to, I don't want environmental regulations holding up clean power or clean energy, because it just seems daft to me to have environmental regimes holding up environmentally good projects. Equally, it doesn't make sense if you want people to have the chance to get into work, to have a system that's set up that makes it really hard for them to get into work. So we need to do the reform. We need to do it in the right way, based on Labour principles. We're the party of work. We're also the party of equality and fairness. But we're not returning to austerity. That's what I said before the election. That's what I say now. On the international question of tariffs, obviously I'm disappointed to see tariffs, global tariffs, in relation to steel and aluminium. But, you know, I'm going to take a pragmatic response to this, because we are negotiating and talking about an economic deal and agreement as we speak. And my strong view is that that is the better way to deal with the trade that we want between our country and the United States. It's massive already, could be even bigger and even better. That is the pragmatic way to respond. Of course, in the end, all options are on the table, but my response is to keep my feet on the ground, to be pragmatic, to keep ensuring that we keep our eyes on the prize. The prize is not a tariff war, which I don't think is going to be in our interests. The prize is an economic agreement or deal, if we can reach that, that actually covers tariffs and much more besides. And that's what we're in the middle of at the moment, and that's the way I see it.